going to start off talking about earth science with just talking about what is science in general. And science is one way of learning about the world. It's not the only way. You could read a book to find somebody else's ideas. You could listen to a philosopher and what they think. But science is one specific way of learning about the world. And science is based on your observations. And observations are things that you experience through your senses. Normally we think if we were observing something, we're using our eyes, we're looking at it, but it doesn't have to be. It could be any of your five senses. So it could be seeing it, but it could also be hearing, tasting, smelling, or touching as well. So we'll do two examples. Okay, you see blue skies. Outside when you look out the window. So that's an observation. The skies are blue, you saw it with your eyes. Another observation might be that it feels very hot and muggy. Okay, so that's an observation. You're not seeing it, but you're feeling it. You're using one of your five senses. Now, next thing is instruments. Instruments are tools used to make our observations more precise. Tools used to make our observations more precise. Examples of instruments, okay, are a ruler. Use that to measure length. A thermometer. Measure temperature. Or maybe a scale. Measure mass. So an example of using an instrument to make an observation more precise would be something like this. A student uses a thermometer to determine that the temperature is 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So up above we said it feels hot and sticky outside. That's not very precise. This is a lot more precise. It is exactly 87 degrees. All right, so you're given a lot more information, a lot more precise information. Now, inferences, I have to squeeze this in here. An inference is an attempt to explain our observations. Sometimes I say they're like an educated guess. So an example. A student observed the pressure was falling, that it was becoming cloudier and windier outside. She predicted that it will probably rain. Now, she doesn't know for sure it's going to rain. She knows that if the pressure is going down and it's getting cloudier and windier, there's a good chance it's going to rain. But this is an inference because she hasn't seen it rain yet. It's not an observation, but she thinks that it probably will rain. So that's going to be an inference. Now, one of the things that makes science kind of unique is that we always test our inferences through experiment. Okay? Scientists are never satisfied that we know exactly how the world works. So you make an observation, you make an inference based on those observations, but then you have to test that inference through experiment. And you don't just test it once, you test it over and over and over again to see that if your inference is true in every situation. A theory is an inference which has withstood many tests. An example of that is the theory of gravity. So in our lives, we kind of know what gravity does. It pulls us down towards the ground, okay? And even deeper understanding, it attracts any two objects toward each other, like the moon being attracted to the Earth. Isaac Newton figured that out 300 years ago. But it's still considered a theory. We're going to still test it. And in fact, right now, as scientists look at galaxies, the galaxies seem to be spinning too fast for our understanding of gravity. So there's something going on there that we try to figure out. So scientists are never satisfied. They're going to continue to test and test and test every inference. Even when it becomes a theory, even one that's as well known as gravity, it's still considered a theory and not considered absolute. We're going to continue to test it. So after this lesson, you should know what an observation is, what an instrument's used for, what an inference is, and how scientists are never satisfied with their inferences. They're always going to test them again and again and again through experiment.